Hello everybody. Hello everybody. Can you hear? So I hope you guys ready right now because it's going to lift off around almost 10 minutes or so. So yeah, I'm going to hear. Okay, the look is pretty good. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, so let's try here from this. Okay, so here we go for the live. Haha, this is Ariane 6 or Ariane 6. But obviously, I'm going to use vocal pronunciation.
The Amazon rainforest
Okay,
here on the coast
so
of
I hope you guys can
so
hear
it
this.
does rain a lot, but rain isn't a problem.
And
Although
maybe
there are other things
I
we
can
need to
adjust a
monitor.
little bit there.
Yes,
Hang on for a second.
We monitor high altitude winds
Pronunciation.
20 kilometers. We need to make sure that
The
wind
Amazon
speed,
Okay,
direction.
so I hope you guys can hear this.
It does rain a lot, but rain isn't a problem.
And
Although
maybe
there are other things
I
we
can
need to
adjust a
monitor.
little bit there. Hang on for a second.
We monitor and we also monitor lightning risk
Pronunciation.
during the ascent to avoid to make sure that
The Amazon rainforest
Okay,
here on the coast
so
of
I hope you guys can hear
It
this.
does rain a lot,
the lightning
but
mass that
rain
you see
isn't a
in
problem.
And
although
maybe
there are other things
I
we
can
need to
adjust a little
monitor.
bit there.
You can
Hang on
see
for a
the
second.
weather center
and we also monitor lightning risk
Pronunciation.
from the ascent to avoid to make sure that
The Amazon
Okay,
rainforest.
so I hope you guys can hear this. This is a bit okay. Oh no, maybe.
temperature, pressure,
Oh no,
humidity, and from this we're able to predict precisely what the conditions would be.
it's going to be
for
dangerous if I didn't close that because the feedback loop. Okay, and meanwhile we are waiting. Previous,
So we
you
have
need to know
two
that
versions
some
Ariane
of
6,
this
with
mission,
2 or 4 boosters, depending
while we can
on
see the launch of this
performance that
Ariane
we
6,
require for the
especially
mission.
because this is an
Today, we
Ariane
only need
62
two
variant,
during the
basically
satellite mass and the
means it
targeted
has
orbit.
two solid rockets strapped on booster. The mission itself, maybe what you can see, the payload inside it is quite half secret, half mostly known because it's based on the
Here you see Canopy, which is the new,
Pleiades
cargo ship hybrid using
satellite. So
sails
basically,
that
it
has
does
transported
it does share some of the
rocket
components
stages
from the
mainland Europe to French Guiana.
yeah. It
They
does.
arrived here end of
How do I say? It does share some of the heritage from the Pleiades, and the rest of the payload. Of course, it's going to be very secretive, you know. So not many know about this, but I think meanwhile maybe we can show a little bit here, I guess. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to show here. Yeah, you can see this is me working with the resources while we're waiting for this Ariane 6 rocket. There is two types of variant. The flight for today, it's going to use two solid rocket booster. You can see how it looks like, and on the 4 strap on booster, this is the Ariane 64 version. And sometimes you can also bundle this a little bit with its own payload adapter that will put second satellite in there, or maybe you can replace it a little bit with the cube set dispenser, depending on which mission, and sometimes even can be slightly higher nose cone depending on the mission. This one, the fourth one, it's the mission would be later on as around, if I remember, the third flight will use this. Yeah, but please correct me if I'm wrong here. And here's a little bit of the infographic. You can see the shout out to Space Intel 101. They really provide a pretty good infographic of this. So I don't want to say too much here, but yeah, as you can see, it also does features this ultra high resolution imaging, which it has EHR and EHR, optical and infrared sensors for basically detail reconnaissance and target identification. So they will target today maybe either 480 by 480 or maybe 800 by 800 kilometers of altitude, which is the altitude they suggest to put it on the sun-synchronous orbit, or sometimes called as heliosynchronous orbit, which it will get almost daily sunlight every time it's okay. Looks like we might have some fallout.
The range operations manager
Okay, for
has
medicine.
announced the beginning of what we call the synchronized sequence, or the automated sequence.
Okay, automated sequence has already started around T-minus 5 minutes. Before that, on Ariane 5 mission, usually the automatic sequence will start around T-minus 7 minutes. But for the Ariane 6, they've made it 2 minutes later than the Ariane 5 automatic sequence. Yeah, this is also especially helped because of modern equipment and what's on. So this is why they no longer use with the T-minus 7 minutes as previously on the Ariane 5. Yeah, especially from what I can see historically. And also maybe I can try show again while I can. Okay, so another one you have to realize, this is one of it.
Yes, this is headquarters in Paris.
I'm not going to show too long. This is how the mission would look like.
Everybody looking forward to the launch there.
Yeah, you can see this is how they are going to achieve it. And then after that, upper stage, is going to first inject to SSO orbit. And then another second injection for to properly circularize it to the SSO, and after that it's going to be CSO-3 separation. And then the third injection will be used to re-enter it back to the Earth, and as it re-enters to the Earth, they also will pressurize it to ensure there is no more propellant and also power, and also some bare power needed to know where it goes. Okay, and you can see this is how it looks like. Yeah, so fortunately this is not a highly secretive mission, not too highly, I say. Very likely in comparison to America, with the US or maybe Russia or literally other nations. Quite almost open, but not really, because some of the payloads also can be pretty secretive. If I remember, it's around 35 centimeter of resolution imaging. To be honest, as comparison, you can see some of the commercial resolution imaging actually can be around 50, 40, or sometimes even 30. It's pretty comparable nowadays. So you have some ideas how capable is it in the realm of the commercial imaging satellite too. For example, you can go with the Planet Labs. Yeah, I'm still going to call it Planet Labs, even though they have rebranded their own name, because it's very easy. Okay, and this is how it looks like. And if I remember, the Vulcan 2.1, this one is the gas generator, which means that it will pre-burn some of its propellant to move the turbine, especially the turbo pump, to move all of that fuel and also oxidizer, so it will ignite. But the gas generator, the pre-burn, it will expel out mostly as a wasteful heat, whatever so on there. But sometimes you can also design it to be very efficient. Okay, and for the Vinci, it's going to be an expander cycle, which almost close. Okay, the minus 1 minute. Looks like I cannot speak too much. Okay, so let's go. Okay, the minus 1 minute. So 1 minute to go. Let's see what do we get.
Good luck, everyone.
Bon voyage, CSO-3.
Okay, good luck, Ariane 6. Good luck. Can do the best. And let me open my phone here, because I want to be able to take off you guys. There's no better equipment right now. I wish I have second monitor, but anything better than nothing, right? So let me see. Okay. Okay, T minus around almost 10 seconds. Enjoy the liftoff, everybody. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Ignition has already confirmed. Okay, liftoff. We've already liftoff for this mission. Okay, looks like we are go. Oh, and it's pretty fast, as you can see. Here we go. Okay, nice. Okay. We early on have already been the pitch over, and I believe some of the Yo and roll. Okay, this is the rocket cam. How interesting there. This is pretty good.
Propulsion is normal. We are looking here.
Okay, propulsion looks normal. Okay.
Everything is going
Oh
normally.
yeah.
We're looking down here
Oh
at one of
yeah,
the
baby.
boosters.
Let's
Yes,
see.
that's right. These are the onboard cameras. We have a cloudy day today, so you can see the.
Yeah, I'm watching directly from the obvious panel here, so will be pretty easy. Oh, okay. Looks like we have already
telling us that everything's going according to plan,
which
David. We can hear our rocket
already
coming over.
more than Mach 1
Jupiter
or
Mission Control Center about
the speed of
16
sound
kilometers from that
already
point. Take
exceeded.
time for the noise to get to us, the rumble, as it's sometimes
Altitude
known in the
looks good,
jungle.
around 20 kimeters.
That's right. We
Distance
can
is
feel
9
now
kilometers,
the
and
vibrations of
the speed
boosters
right now
coming
is
up, to us
or
from
velocity is
kilometers away.
around
Indeed, and it's those
0.8
boosters which are
kilometer
doing all
per
the work,
second.
even though we have
Okay,
switched
should
on the
already
engine
be
on the Vulcan
Mach 2,
engine on the
maybe
main stage.
already
The
reached max
boosters,
Q
well,
by
their
right
job
now.
is to literally boost us away from
Okay, and if I remember correctly,
That's right.
the
It's,
side
the boosters are
booster,
providing
the
more than
what they use right now,
85% of the more than
P120C,
800 tons
it
that we
actually
need to take
ignites
off.
for
These boosters
about
will
130
it's,
seconds, which is around
2
2
times
minutes
or
and 10 seconds
142
before
times
it's
that
finally
drink a bit more over more than 2
before it's
minutes.
finally
After that, we will have
burnout.
lost
After
about
the burnout, it
70%
will be
of the mass
separated.
that we had at the time of
So
liftoff.
the
That's
rocket
the name of the game.
will be
The
much
lighter we
more
are, of
lighter,
course, the
and it
faster we
should
go.
have already been
These boosters
burned out.
scheduled to detach in a matter of seconds.
Okay, here, listen to the.
Seeing our images here on the live
Okay,
camera.
should be okay.
Just a few
Separation of
seconds
the
after the event,
side
we have
booster.
confirmation that those have
Okay, let's
actually
see from the
separated.
rocket cam. This is a little bit delay, around 15 seconds, if I remember correctly.
As I said, the images are coming to us for technical reasons, just with a very slight delay. And he's telling us that
Okay,
the
here we go.
propulsion is
Let's see.
nominal,
This
and
is the
there we go. That's what it looks like in
beautiful
space.
shot of the
Those
separation
boosters
of the
pulling
side
away.
booster
The
here.
trajectory on the
A
right-hand
beautiful
side of our
shot.
screen. The green
Okay,
is
trajectory
normal. The
is
green line is the
nominal
planned
or
trajectory.
nominal.
The cross
I don't know which one is true
indeed is
here.
our actual
Sometimes can be
position of our rocket.
confusing. Okay.
Our speed and altitude, David?
Yes, we're close
Okay.
to 100 kilometers now.
I mean, it's
and,
good.
We're
At least right now we have
downrange
both the
from Kourou,
rocket camera
and
and
we have a
also
speed
the
now of
infograph,
1.7 kilometers per second,
how do I
and
say,
increasing.
the
Per
CGI
second,
there,
not
real-time
second,
CGI,
per
of course,
second. So that's
and also
higher
the
speeds. We're gonna be
telemetry.
heading
I
up
like
towards
that,
be
you
getting
know,
to 8 kilometers
telemetry
per second.
graph.
Look at
This
the
is
images on the
something
bottom right of
every
your screen.
space
That is
nerd
the
would
big power
like
stage,
to.
the tank of fuel
I
on the
mean,
very
having
front
these
of
three both, it's
small
like a
pointy
bonus right
section.
now. Bonus in the
If you
pie
like
cake,
this,
you know.
our fairing with our
Or I don't know
segment
which one
inside, it's got
do you
a
like.
number of different jobs. It's protecting
Personally,
us from
sometimes I
Right,
like
it
curry
protects the
puff, you know.
satellite while it's on the
Sometimes
ground
I like
against
beer.
dust, humidity, on any kind of pollution.
Or
And it protects
sometimes
the
I
satellite
do
during
like
the launch itself, the liftoff,
penyaram.
because there's some lot of
How,
acoustic
how do I
noise.
how do you mention
And
it?
finally,
That's
during
something.
the
Oh, okay.
atmosphere
Maybe there's to be
part, then it protects it against the air
payload
friction and
fairing
the extreme heat that is
separation or
generated by this friction.
payload
So
short
our satellite nice
separation.
and comfortable
Let's see.
up there in first class.
Okay, right now
inside the
it's
fairing,
already exceeded
having
that
started its journey.
Kármán line
That fairing will remain there
base
for
there,
another
around
few
100 kilometers.
seconds.
should be
as we saw
payload
earlier, David,
jettison.
two halves.
That's right, and
Come on,
this is the onboard
show us even the
camera
animation
showing
for
the
now.
two halves of the fairing that will separate.
Okay, payload fairing separation.
Has
It's separated in half.
Those,
Let's see from the rocket onboard cam.
Actually,
15 seconds delay, of course. Let's see.
Flexes. It's called the breathing mode. It's very specially designed to do that.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, here we go. Separation of the fairing shot. Looking pretty beautiful down on the Earth right now. Oh, and by the way, it's midnight in my place right now. Fortunately, I have some sleep, so don't worry. Because also we are going to cover intuitive machines. I am to Athena mission, which will also land on at the moon. We'll try to land at the surface of the moon in the mountain. So maybe around 1 hour, 1 hour from now before they landed. So please keep an eye of it. I'm going to try to stream as soon as possible. Hopefully by the time they've already injected this properly into orbit, I will try to switch as soon as possible. But if I can't, at least I try something. Okay. So
on Ariane, which are made using additive manufacturing, and we have also
added looks like I've unfortunately got that connection about the OBS studio. Disconnect a little bit and reconnect back. How interesting. But it's fine, better than encoder error before, which happens while I'm streaming for the IFP4. Yeah, that's worse. Hopefully, my laptop not going to decide to just randomly crash. Please don't do that. It's going to be my huge nightmare. So, you guys as a viewer, especially in the comment in the chat station, are the only way for me to know what's happening. So I need to always look out. Okay, should we from now should be first stage
CSO-3
depletion, and then after that it will be interstage separation between first stage and second stage, and will ignite the another one, the Vinci engine, or especially if you see there, Alumash APU or auxiliary power unit. Okay, and also first stage.
The engine has switched off.
Okay, first stage engine has already switched off. Interstage separation, and also and also ignition of the Vinci engine there. Ignition of Vinci. Okay, let's see. The rocket cam looks pretty interesting there. Yeah, nice. And we should see another one. Okay. Interesting. Did you notice what the first stage actually doing there, other than just tumbling, not really tumbling, but also heading back to the Earth? As you can see, that's how the passivation actually works, and it should turn on APU, the auxiliary power unit from will be okay.
Yes,
second stage, its performance is nominal, apparently. Okay, let's see. APU to be all on right now, which should be used to generate electricity for the rocket itself. Okay, APU has already been switched on.
With this reignition capability. For the mission today, we will use the engine twice.
Okay.
CSO-3
this is nice. Oh, and now we have two rocket cams there. How interesting there.
And we had the range operations manager just
you can see
there announced that we've switched on something called
right
the
now.
APU.
Altitude right now is 330 kilometers. Speed is 4.32 kilometers per second, and distance for and crew distance right now is
everything's going normally. We'll talk a bit more about that,
1,250
David,
kilometers.
later in the program. So do stay
Nice.
tuned. But just before we do, a shout out for the Franco-German cooperation on the upper stage.
Okay, I think
Yes,
maybe
the upper
looking
stage,
from
which is
this
designed and built
altitude,
by
looking
Ariane
for this
in Bremen, in
telemetry graph,
Germany,
I
with
think
an engine designed in
they
Vernon, in
might
France.
heading for
And
480
was
kilometers.
tested during the
Maybe we'll
development
see.
of the launching Impulse South.
Okay, Bermuda tracking station has already acquired
Signal in
the signal
So
for
once
the
we release
Ariane
CSO-3,
6.
this French space agency will take on their satellite.
Okay, so this is the okay, this is another video right now how they do. I mean, sometimes I actually miss how Arianespace in 2000s, early 2000s and 90s looks, but hey, some classic stuff. Sometimes it's good nowadays, sometimes it's bad. Back in the day, you know, I think a balance would be better, you know. Oh, okay. Looks like I've got get there. Hello.
Préparer les automatismes permettant de transformer les listes reçues en ordre élémentaire pour chacun des satellites. Les ingénieurs missions
Okay,
surveillent le bon déroulement des activités pour intervenir en cas de problème.
Yo, hello, Cyan. Welcome to this stream. Apparently, maybe only you just watching, but it's fine. If there's anything wrong with my stream, please inform me, okay? Sometimes it's hard to do some diagnostic here. No, I mean especially because maybe a little bit helping right now because I have some background on troubleshooting regarding computers and whatnot. Yeah, I used to be very interested in doing computer doing of that technological stuff, but nowadays I have somehow pessimistic view about the technology, you know. Not because I don't want, but how do I say, it's a bit depressing how it looks like. But it's totally fine. I'm not going to bring any pessimistic view here. Don't worry. Okay, it's interesting how Borneo looks weird in that map. That's funny. You know, Borneo is where am I reside right now, specifically in the Sarawak region. You know, man, they get that map wrong again. But whatever, I'm not going to be too pedantic here. Oh, and by the way, Cyan, maybe if you want, just bring your friends along here. don't hesitate yourself to chat a lot with me. Okay, as you can see, this is where we are heading to the north. Yeah, SSO, especially because they, how do I say, because you want to gain some speed, right? And you don't want to lose too much speed. What they do is they will try to head to the, if I remember, head to the east as much as possible, and especially when they try to head to the polar orbit, or in this case like the SSO orbit, you can see there is slight how do I say, slightly to the right side, because it wants to also capture some of that gravitational speed of the Earth, or maybe gravitational let's just say some free Earth velocity for this satellite to orbit around the Earth. Oh.
14 minutes into the flight, the rocket talks to us as it flies over. It communicates with the tracking stations. They collect the data and they send it here to what we call the CVI, or the Quick Look Telemetry team, who are at the Guyana Space Center. There they are, bottom right-hand side. He's telling us that everything's going normally, the range operations manager. There they are. David, what are they doing?
Okay, right now
yes,
we
they're
are almost at the
collecting real-time
T
data
plus
the launcher is
15
sending, the
minutes.
synchronous
Yeah,
status of the
almost
engine, the
misspoke that T
trajectory, the
minus
flight
whatever
control,
because I'm
and
too
they compare
obsessive
this
with
live data
minus
from the
minus
rocket
but
to what
plus
has
plus
been
plus right now.
predicted.
Okay,
So this allows them
the
to
flight looks
continuously
pretty nominal.
analyze the launcher's behavior and to confirm that it is as expected.
Okay,
Lots of people
I think
working
maybe looking
across
at
Europe on the rocket and the satellite.
how
Let's
do I
hear
say
from
the
some of the teams.
milestone from my course estimation, we still can go live for the IM2 Athena mission. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to sleep. The only time I can sleep is after they properly, let's say, not only just land at the surface of the moon, but also at the same time, if they give us that first lunar image from that IM2 Athena probe, maybe I can finally go have some rest, because by then maybe almost approaching 2 a.m. in the morning in my local time, and that's also we and how do I say, and also I'm going to stream again for that SpaceX Starship Flight 8 mission. So I need to stream it too, because obviously I'm also ecstatic for this, for that too. Other than this stream, and also the next stream for the lunar landing, I'm going to be excited with that one too. So yeah, what a pretty packed day for at least in my local time right now. Friday, it's pretty packed morning. Wow. That's why I said. And also, I need to tell you something. For anyone that's maybe asking, hey, can you go live for, let's say, for the Falcon 9 mission for which will, maybe if I remember, Punch and also no, VRX and also Punch NFI and also WFI mission, and some correction. Punch mission actually is to use how do I say, to actually look around for the sun, do some research about the sun, of course. Yeah, so sorry about previous statement. I'm not very 100% sure if I can stream that one. You know why? Because around that time, let's say if there's no technical snag and whatnot, at least in my local time here, they are going to launch on Saturday, which is around time where I go to church, and not really convenient around that time. So sorry, there's not going to be live stream for that unless they decided to delay it. If they delay it, maybe let's say to the next day, yeah, I can try to stream for that. Okay. So let's just see what how it's going.
Pour Arianespace, je suis responsable production des adaptateurs. C'est une pièce mécanique qui sert d'interface entre le satellite et le lanceur. Mon travail consiste aussi à apporter une expertise technique.
Okay, right now the velocity is 7.5 kilometers per second, altitude is 350 kilometers, and the core distance right now is almost 4,200 kilometers. And also, any moments from now, should be second stage, should be the Vinci first shutdown. Okay, let's hear the telemetry and also
David,
what the mission control would say.
And customers,
let's see.
Both working hand in hand to make this a success.
Any moments
I
from
think
now.
everyone can feel very proud. Right, coming up to the next major event, that will be the switching off of the Vinci engine.
Okay, let's hear.
What it looks like. It's burning at the moment and has about 5 seconds left on the burn. We have confirmation there that the engine has indeed switched off.
Vinci first engine shut down. Okay, and the velocity is 7.93 kilometers per second, and altitude is 327 kilometers, and cruise distance is almost 4,700 kilometers.
Yes, well,
So it looks like
it's a bit like a roller coaster. We have
okay.
picked up
First
speed.
stage
You can
looks
see on the curve that we have decreased
how do I say
altitude,
second stage
and
looks
we have
healthy right
been
now.
picking up speed also because the Ariane 6 has been pushing
Okay.
us for over 20 minutes
Try
now.
the best.
And we
So
are
at this phase, what it's actually
using
doing
the
right now
speed
is
that we have.
it's in the
In
coasting
physical
period,
terms, we will
which
be
means that
transforming the
engine
kinetic
will
energy that the
which
launcher
just
has
like
been giving
the
us
ballistic
into potential
how do I
energy,
say this is
climbing
also
higher.
formerly known as
Got a question coming in
ballistic
on
post phase.
YouTube.
What they are doing
Paul
is
Graves
they
is
shut off
asking,
those
was the air
engine,
conditioning inside the
especially in the
fairing to
upper
keep the
stage
payload
of
healthy?
that BG
Yes, the answer is yes,
engine,
of course, while the
and then
satellite
let
is
it rest
sitting on the ground under
before
the fairing,
finally they will
because we
ignite for
have
the second time. Maybe a little bit
heat
brief, I don't
and
know.
humidity here in
It should
French
be
Guiana.
around
We have
a minute, two, or
constantly
maybe lesser.
providing air
I don't know.
conditioning to the
Let's see
satellite
how
to keep
it
it
happens. And after
at
that,
the temperature that they
not long
require.
after that, the CSO-3 will be
Flying around at the
separated,
moment on what we
and
call an elliptical orbit. It's the
and
shape
the mission
of an
should be
oval
declared
matching
success
Earth at
if
one end of the
nothing
oval, and our
nothing's
spacecraft
gone wrong on
is
the
effectively slingshotting
second
close to Earth and then
ignition.
far away from
So,
Earth in its orbit.
Yes, that's right.
so yeah,
Its
that's how
closest point to what we call
can
the
say right now.
perigee. The rocket is
Yeah,
about
very interesting.
330 kilometers. That's
I
where
think
we are now.
meanwhile
And
we are
the
waiting for
farthest
this, right?
point, it's
Maybe I
just
can
over
show you some little
750
bit about
kilometers. And it takes about 37
the
minutes to climb to this highest point. And
P120C
once
there.
we get there, we will
Here,
switch on
let me
the
show.
engine again to reach the targeted orbit.
Maybe
He's telling us that the propulsion's normal, everything's going
how do I
normally
say?
according to plan.
I need to come up with
Another
better
question from
solution.
Erwan, who has asked, why are there so many armed forces for this launch?
Well,
Let
in
me see.
fact, the Guiana
Maybe I
Space
can
Center
try
is
copy
Europe's
here.
spaceport, and as
Copy.
such, it is a strategic facility for Europe.
Best
Therefore,
duplicate.
the center is constantly protected by the French Foreign Legion and the armed
Okay.
forces. But for today's launch,
Don't
considering
worry,
the
I
nature
will
of our
try.
passenger, there
Bring
are
it,
additional
please.
forces that have been deployed to assure the security of the launch and the satellite. For example, we had some Rafale fighter jets that have been deployed around the launch site.
Yep.
Okay.
Rafale, or Rafale in French, the French fighter jets, which I think Rafale means gust of wind in English.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
So 22 minutes
So
and 20
I'm just adjusting
seconds.
this in real time.
We are at an
So
altitude of
pardon me.
328 kilometers and flying just under 8 kilometers per second.
Okay. Pardon me.
We are coasting without the engine right now.
Yeah.
The
So
teams of the
that's
French
what
Space
ballistic
Agency, CNES,
cost
are
actually
eagerly waiting to take
doing
control
right
of
now.
their satellite. And their mission control room, we saw them earlier, is in
Okay.
Toulouse in France.
So
Let's go
this is
over
how
now
the
to
P120C
Composante manager Paul
solid
Arbaret and
rocket
team.
solid rocket engine looks like. As you can see here how it looks. There is the core, especially the empty core here. This should be shaped in star if I remember correctly. And here is the ignition, or basically the igniter to ignite this solid rocket booster that will burn a lot of this. If I remember, this is around how do I say it? Hundreds of tons, if I remember, of this solid booster. And this one actually has already been successfully used on the Vega C for few flights. So that's also one of the reasons why Ariane 6 used this, because how do I say, because they are using this especially for the mission, of course.
Maneuvers so that its solar panels are headed towards the sun and that its antennas are headed towards the ground to keep in touch with experts here in Toulouse. So I've asked
okay, and also this is how it should looks like here.
Jean-Renaud, you're an expert. You're in avionics and onboard
Okay,
electronics.
so this is how the Vega C looks like. They do one of it used on the first stage, which also Ariane 6 used because they want to streamline those production, of course, and also to ensure that they can do some mass manufacture of these. And you have to remember, if you learn even a little bit about Ariane 5 history, Ariane 5 itself is already a pretty OP, pretty overpowered rocket, okay? Because originally they want to use that Ariane 5 for the Hermes spaceplane at some point around 80s or 90s, basically a little bit as a response to the US, how do I say, US space shuttle. But eventually they decided to just scrap that project, and instead they repurpose it for having tons, a heck lot more satellite than usual. I mean, if you even see the mission, you know why. Ariane 5 is pretty OP rockets for sure. And here I can show to you this one. This one I will show you. This is the Vulcan 2.1 rocket engine that's being used for the first stage. If you notice from the infographic here, yeah, is this one. You see? You see? This one, the first stage. That's why I said this is a gas generator. Rocket engines for sure. Yeah, and I was right here on the figure per solid rocket engine there. And for the first stage, you can see it. The Vulcan 2.1, it actually burns liquid oxygen and also liquid hydrogen, which in total carries around 173.75 tons. Pretty heavy. Okay, and this one, as you can see, this is a gas generator rocket engine. Okay, so part of that pre-burner that's likely also mixed incomplete burn of the liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen being used to move that turbine, especially the turbo pump, to actually carries that all of that liquid oxygen and also liquid hydrogen down to this stream, which will be used to mainly provide thrust, and also tons of powers there. And while all of these pre-burner, most of it were ditched off as the waste propellant there. As you can see here, this is where the propellant like there. Okay. So that's why I can try to show you another one. Let me see.
Wishing you all the very, very best now as you
that's why I said this is a this one is the pre-burner nozzle there to at least recoup some of that losses.
For about 20 minutes, and we'll see you back here at 17:15 p.m. Universal Time. That is 18:15 in Paris, and we're going to leave you with a short film about Lego, because you may have noticed that David and I have a Lego model,
as you can see here,
Ariane 6 in our studio.
And this is some specs there. I'm not going to bother to spell it out to you.
New Lego sets. And somebody's come up with an idea for a Lego set.
And for the Vinci, it's actually an expander cycle rocket engine here. This is how the configuration looks like. The combustion chamber. This is also the combustion chamber plus some fixed nozzle, which is, as you can see here, there is extendable nozzle here. But usually, if they want to try this vacuum type of engine, usually they will just cut this up and cut this up until here, and will use it to test it out. And then when they're ready to use it properly, then they will use this extendable nozzle. Okay, and this is how it looks like technically. This is how the
this, of course, is a prototype, and I have to admit that we have already had separation of the boosters because one of them did fall off earlier when we were rehearsing, but we've managed to put them back together again. So it's a prototype, and it will look a bit different. But watch out now for the film Lego Ideas. Please get voting.
Okay, so this is how Lego looks like there. So we're stopping there a little bit. I wonder how many parts just in order to get this. Man, lots of Lego parts. Okay. Yeah, I think for you guys out there, please vote for that Lego part. I really want to see this to be in use, you know. And yeah, just like what she said, it's going to be plus minus 20 minutes of resting there. So yeah. Meanwhile, I can continue my my discussion here. Okay, and it's already freeze froze there. Okay, so this is how it looks like. The if I remember the expander cycle, if I remember, it's technically almost similar idea to also similar idea to the, how do I say, similar idea to the gas generator, but the difference is that not only does it not just spit it out just directly out of there, it's also being used to recycle it back to also cool it down and also reuse it back here, engines here. So obviously there's going to be some more there, but you need to know that expander cycle has some disadvantage. One of it is that it's also subject to the square cube law, if I remember. Where if I remember, there is certain something about you can when you try to make it double, certain things will go 4 times, but others will go 8 times. So there is limitation what they can do with the expander cycle before they finally no longer can deal with it, right? Oh, and also I can try open the music here, right? Set. Yeah. And also here, this is how they looks like. This is, I get this from the Springer link, something like that. But it's fine. You can see here. This is the RL10. Yeah, one of the OP, the legend since the dawn of this space age. This is used by the US. And this one is Da Vinci, the combustion chamber. You can see how it actually does. And also with the nozzle extension deployed, you can see it's pretty long. If they want to test it out, if I remember, they have to cut it here. They want to test it on Earth. But when they want to try to use it in real environment, of course they are going to deploy this along with the nozzle extension. They also test that nozzle extension, of course. Maybe they also do test this mechanism, also live test firing, just to confirm that it can handle that. I suppose too. And this is how it looks like if it's fully ignited. You know, as you can see, there is the diamond ring, or what some people would call this as the Mach diamond. One of the reasons is that because, you know, imagine there is a tons of burn super fast gas there, supersonic, literally just spewing out of that nozzle. And then because there's too much colliding, eventually it's going. Not only does it collide fast, but it collides super duper fast, faster than bullet, of course. If I remember, it should be around Mach 8, 9, 10, something like that, 10 plus. Yeah, and that's why you can see the Mach diamond. And sometimes people, if I remember, even the early space age, if I remember, Mercury Redstone test mission also, they try to use the nozzle to actually test out the integrity of that. How do I say? To test out the integrity of. Or what's the word that I should remember? Of the re-entry capsule, especially the ablative heat shield. So, yeah. Looks like we are reconnect again. Thank God. Everything is safe. Okay. So, it's, as you can see, this is how it used. it will mix together just to burn slightly, so it will be able to move that around, and then it can be used to cool, and then later also can be used to burn inside the nozzle, nozzle, and also the combustion chamber to increase its efficiency. The good things, you know. Okay, and I think maybe another one I can mention. Is that it? Yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. Nothing to discuss more. So sorry. Okay, meanwhile, I think I can try show you this. Oops. Yeah, I actually accidentally closed the mic. Oh no! Oh no! I closed the mic. Oh, for how long? For how long do I do that? Let me see. I need to see. Oh no! How long? See. Oh, apparently it still works. Okay, looks like it still works. Thank God. I think maybe that's what monitoring off actually supposed to do in the OBS setting. Go figure. Okay, looks like they will be back again around T plus 51 minutes. Oh no, we can go live. I don't know what's the decision we can do right now. What should we do? Should we try to hazard some news? Okay, I think maybe you know what, we instead will be going to search for this. Okay. Let me try that. Okay, give me a little bit second. I'll be back. Okay, let's see how it looks. Oh, why? Yeah, this is same.
Also carry the Nokia tipping point demo we just mentioned and traverse the moon. And the company's lunar surface communications system that's from Nokia will demonstrate proximity communications between Athena, Lunar Outpost rover, and the Hopper.
The Lunar Outpost MAP rover aboard the IM-2 mission will also carry a technology from the MIT Media.
I don't know, guys. What should we do? Should we just should this stream actually just directly we also directly stream like this? I don't know. Maybe meanwhile, I think I can use this opportunity to also talk about this one. Okay, so this is slight overlap of that mission. Okay, because it's going to take a little bit more.
12 minutes from Athena starting her final approach to the lunar surface, and things are moving forward as going into
okay.
Minute main engine firing towards the lunar surface, and to this point, Athena has traveled
Okay.
Over 700,000 kilometers up on the Viz over 8
Wow,
days.
that's pretty far.
Yeah, risky is
I
right.
think,
It's no secret
I
that
think,
landing on the moon is
how do I say?
challenging.
Because
Companies
right now
around
we
the
have
world have
slight
attempted this
overlap
but will meet with some
of the
being
time
successful,
for
but
the
some
Ariane
aren't. Of
6.
course, the United
Especially we are
States
going
has
to see
landed
the
on the moon many
CSO-3
times, most notably
deployment,
during the Apollo
and also
program. But today we're looking
for the
for the third
Athena.
landing by a U.S. commercial company
humans to the moon
I
for the first
I
time
think
since Apollo.
I think maybe
So
the
ahead
only
of humans,
sane way, I
we
guess,
want to
is
get
that we can
as
try
much
overlap
science,
this
exploration, and
this stream.
technology
Okay, so
experiments as possible.
I will also activate
a lot of the early science,
yeah,
the things
I
we
will
wanted to
also
do before
will
we
try
send
to
humans.
activate
CLIPS stands for
this stem.
Commercial
How do I say this stream
Services,
immediately
COS.
after the Ariane 6? Because this is also interesting. I couldn't just ignore this. If I ignore this, it's not going to do some justice. Okay.
It is a
Yeah,
delivery service
I think
akin to a delivery
I
service
will.
that you'd have here on Earth.
I will try.
Provide payloads to a commercial company. They decide how to get it to the moon. They have to develop their own lander.
How do
They
I?
also have to manage the
How do I do
entire
this?
end-to-end mission.
Yes, I think.
It's meant to provide affordable, rapid, frequent access to the lunar surface through American companies.
We're funding different companies.
We have commercial companies that are competing to win task orders to deliver payloads
Okay,
to the surface of the
I
moon.
think some decision I will try to make redirect link so you guys also can watch this stuff after the CSO-3 deployment. Okay, so soon after that,
The next frontier for
they,
commercial
because
We had to
the overlap.
up front all the way through the highest levels of the agency.
Okay, so this is how it looks like. That's why I said the overlap. See, it's not going to be that long.
Have accepted the risk that going
Okay,
to this innovative
so
approach
so
with
let's do it.
commercial
I'm
companies,
going to
that there could
redirect
be
you guys
some
as soon as
failures. Some of
possible
the new companies,
to this
none of them have
IM2
ever
mission.
successfully landed on the surface of the moon. So they're
Okay.
going to learn lessons.
We need to give our vendors the
So
opportunity to learn.
give me some time.
And so that'll help
Let me try
ultimately
it.
buy down our risk as these
I will
companies
try. I will
learn,
try.
okay, what does it take to
Okay.
actually build up the lunar
So-
lander, integrate payloads, get to the lunar surface and land safely.
How do I say? Because I want to.
very good technical depth and the ability to design and execute.
Yeah,
missions where
I
we'll
need
have
to
take
redirect you
shots
guys.
on goal. And we aren't risking human
the-
life.
the
And in the
mission.
big picture, if we're flying missions at 1/10 of the cost of a NASA mission and we fail 2 of them, we still get 8 missions for that same price.
Even with
Let
one
me
or
see,
2 or 3
let me
failures,
see,
this
let
is
me
still
see.
a very economical proposition. It's
Because
risk posture which
this is
is
a
more
huge
risk
crisis for me.
tolerant than
How do I
NASA's
even
accustomed to. There's not
how
a
do I
single
even
one of
do
those
this?
companies that's willing
I
to
want to
bet
redirect you
mission on
guys
coin
to
toss.
the
Every one of
next
them
stream
is
later.
doing what they can in order to have the most successful mission possible. But the important thing to realize is that risk tolerant does not mean risky. And the rewards
Okay.
are a long-term ability
So-
to get payloads to the moon
Next
inexpensively,
stream.
frequently, and rapidly.
So
We
please
want science, so we can
go
then put
go to
more
this stream
resources
later.
on even
Because
more
the
science,
overlap is
exploration,
pretty
and
big here.
technology payloads and get more of return on investment.
Yeah,
when we get to the moon.
please do so.
Provides tremendous
I will
benefit
I will
across the
pin this.
scientific and economic communities.
So there's a lot we'd like to learn about the moon to help human habitation and prepare for
Yeah,
missions.
please go there
So the moon is the first step.
after this stream because this is too interesting.
We are coming up on just about 22 minutes from Athena's planned lunar landing attempt.
Okay.
Let's take a live look into Nova Control.
So this is
Josh,
how it
can you
looks
tell
like.
us what's going on right now inside your Mission Control Center?
Well, flight
So-
controllers are all monitoring
so how do I say?
Athena's flight data
If
in near
if
real
you
time. That
if you
means
just
Athena is
arrive
sending data from
to this
nearly
stream,
250,000
welcome.
miles away to ground stations, contract
and also if you
machines across the
look at
globe
this
and
stream
into Nova Control. The mission director
on
of
replay,
landing system
you have to know
experts
that
are looking
this
at a
stream
called
will
deorbit
be the
descent and
next
landing, DDL
this stream and the next stream will
It's
be
used
overlapped. So
primarily
if
while
you
Athena
look
orbits the moon
at this
through the
a
landing.
little bit
That same
a little
data
bit for
flow is being
last
interpreted through
second,
video gate
you will get the
to
idea how.
create what we call
So
the
that's
things that you see on your
okay.
screen right now.
So this is
Well, we have
this
made
is
some improvements to
the
increase the
live
fidelity and
simulation, I
reliability
guess,
of the
yes,
viz.
based
We
on
decided to keep
real-time
that for you during the
telemetry.
landing,
So
although
this
the
is it.
last few seconds
Oh,
may be
interesting.
an estimation of what's happening as Athena may lose communications contact, particularly when she pitches over right before vertical descent.
Right now, looking at the viz, it shows Athena approximately 15 kilometers above the lunar surface, so we're getting close.
Yeah,
As the lander
pretty
makes it down to
close.
About 10 kilometers, we expect Athena to
It's
continuously
pretty
fire
close,
her
and
main
also
rocket,
even my stream is
throttling
pretty
down
close
until
and tight
soft landing on the
together.
lunar
So
surface.
I will not
Believe that fire
after
burn is
the
called powered descent
CSO-3
initiation, or
deployment, I will
PDI.
just
Athena
immediately
must
just
slow down
lost that stream. Okay.
Doesn't mean too much until we typed it into Google. That's about 4,000 miles per hour.
Okay, 45 minutes. 6 minutes from now,
a lot of lateral
we shall see.
You can think of PDI like hitting the brakes on your car in order to make a safe turn. But in Athena's case, that turn is moving into a vertical upright position.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and also, how do I say, the mission is pretty almost similar to the Blue Moon mission number 1 that I've already covered before. So please refer to the replay if you want to have slightly a little bit more info, but just to give you some idea.
Tony?
Thanks, Leah. It's always an honor to be joined by NASA leadership, and joining us now is acting.
But for some idea, this is how it looks like. Okay, so this is the IM-2 mission trajectory. I will reiterate this again once we are live again on the next, how do I say, on the next stream, because due to the overlap. So you can see this is the launch and what's on. Some autonomous commissioning, maneuver preparation, trajectory correction, maneuver number 1, 2, and 3, or maybe just 1. It just depends on which, and maneuver to lunar orbit insertion, attitude, lunar orbit insertion, and also the low lunar orbit. And then the last minute, as we can see, it's like this: the descent orbit insertion, DOI, terrain relative navigation will be activated to see, and also to watch for some of the hazards. And also it's going to be powered descent initiation, and also will be the pitch over with main engine, hazard detection and avoidance, and it will try to do some terminal descent, vertical descent, terminal descent, and finally will try to land as soon as possible. So this is how it looks like. That's why I said overlap. Just handle, just handle with me. Okay, T-minus 18 minutes and 30 seconds before IM-2 Athena will land, attempt to land again for this second mission. And this is the Ariane 6, especially the CSO-3, how it looks like. Not interesting, right? So that's why I've already streamed this, as the overlap is pretty tight here.
And the South Pole is increasingly challenging with the very deep craters that are there. The low level of light and the angle of the sun make that even more challenging. So
yes,
it's harsh.
Yes, for sure.
It absolutely is, and it's just even more impressive when the teams then are able to land, well. Janet, can you tell us how these commercial and lunar
so this is how it looks at the mission control. Oh, and also a little bit interesting how
we send humans back to the moon.
How the Earth looks like here. Oh no, I think Earth going to have some field day here. Oh man, they're pretty.
The commercial lunar payload services, I just think it's a brilliant partnership between NASA and
some drop frames there. It says here.
Come up with their own concepts and ideas.
Just only 1.1%. 278 drop frames. Oh, okay, still acceptable. Better than last stream before, especially if you try to see the Falcon 9 launches of the IM-2. No, yeah, IM-2 and also iSpace lunar lander. Yeah, still better than before.
Drill baby drill that we're going to do on this mission. So all of that we're able
to be able to plus 49 minutes, almost live.
Back on that on the surface of the moon.
Let's see it here instead.
To Mars. And again, I think CLIPS is a brilliant partnership. And I mentioned, I believe this administration talks about America first, and I think the way we can do it is by bringing along industry and really dominating the space, whether it's low Earth orbit, whether it's cislunar, or whether it's on the surface of the moon. I think we will continue to push our boundaries and make sure that we are first and retain leadership in space.
A lot of exciting science ahead. Janet, thank you so much for joining us today. Now we'll send it back to Leah and Josh.
Thanks, Antonia. It's time to buckle up, space fans, or lean forward in your chair. We just heard the call out for 90 seconds.
Right now, sub minus 16 minutes. And the stream is almost up here. Oh, altitude. Yeah, so apparently they are now going to target for 800 kilometers of altitude for the CSO-3. And if I remember correctly, CSO stands for Composante Spatiale Optique, or or in English it would be Optical Space Component. Okay. But we are not going to focus this for now. But I think maybe I can still make this overlap for now. Some exception due to.
And with 30 seconds, we are now 13 kilometers above the moon. Again, we're going to bring it back down
due to overlap. So I will just let
We might be
AFM is in exec mode.
Just about
no.
For exec mode here.
Some
RCS settling burn.
Settling burn. That's our attitude control system.
Okay, I guess.
Ignition commanded.
Okay, how do I say? Due to pretty tight timing, so I think I will just after this mission maybe I will just try to go here. But already ignition on that on this stuff. Okay, so due to the overlap, I will instead will just go live on the 5th. Okay, so let's go. Bye bye. See ya.
Until we land softly on the lunar